Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit of a sad video to make. However, I do think it's best for my own health at this point because I do treat YouTube way more as a hobby instead of like some money-making scheme. You guys will probably have realized this by the fact that I haven't accepted a sponsor in like the over 2 years I've been doing YouTube, and that's been on purpose, right? If I want to endorse something, I'll endorse it. I don't need somebody's money stuffed down my fucking throat for me to say that your shit is good, right? Like, for example, sk.theherda.com, beautiful website. Absolutely love it. Thank you guys for doing what you do on that website. However, what I want to talk about today is the future of my channel, and this kind of ties back to a video I made a few days ago, where quite consistently as of late, I have been having predictions that I guess to some are controversial. However, usually, especially as of recent, I've had an incredibly good track record with predicting like best in slot teammates, future team synergies, shit like that. And in my opinion, it isn't anything impressive. I'm not trying to stroke my ego. However, there's this opposite spectrum where I feel like people are so just caught up in mindless dooming without understanding character strength, or people who just care too much about, comparing other people's opinions. For example, as of late, I've been getting a lot of people on my channel bringing up another creator named Uniquely, right? Guy makes amazing videos, okay? Go watch his videos. I absolutely loved his recent Asheville one. And no, this isn't me glazing or trying to be, toxic positive. I loved his recent Asheville video, okay? It actually gave a few points I hadn't thought of before. But me and Uniquely have had different opinions as of late, right? And obviously, I don't agree with literally everything this guy says. Nobody agrees with everything someone else says. Mainly because of the controversy of the best in slot support for Silverwolf's team, since she is the anniversary main push. There is a lot of people speculating, will it be Buff Sparkle? Can you alternate the buffs between, Sparksy and the main DPS? And because of how much stronger Buff Sparkle's amping is, maybe that could overcome the strength of Yao Guang's elation gimmicks. Then you also have EMC. Is EMC going to power creep Yao Guang out of elation teams? And then not only this, there's also an upgrade for EMC later on, and then Yao Guang's in the grave, right? A lot of thinking along the lines of this. And personally, I have been like the #1 frontline fighter for like the past few weeks about Yao Guang's value for elation teams, and especially Silverwolves. And it's mainly because of her special synergy with Sparksy, right? Not only is Sparksy a sub DPS who buffs the team, not only does she generate thrill on elation skills, giving much further and better value towards Yao Guang's AHA instant. However, on top of this, she is also obviously a sub DPS in a mono team where you want everybody to do damage. Why would you use a hyper carry buffer over an AoE buffer? And why would they power creep Yao Guang so quickly? If you look at Sparksy's Eidolons, her E1 gives 15% res pen, however also gains 5 punchline at the end of every AHA instant. A lot of people aren't aware of this, however yes, this does work with Yao Guang's AHA instant that she forces on her ultimate. The extra turn she gets at the end of every AHA instant that gives her 2 thrill also is something that synergizes with Yao Guang's AHA instant, right? So you can see the synergy between Sparksy and Yao Guang is incredibly high, and this is why personally it is very difficult for me to imagine anybody taking Yao Guang's spot is specifically in a Silverwolf elation team. There's a lot of current, thinking for a lot of people that Yao Guang would probably be more important in an Evanescia team as compared to a Silverwolf team. However, I have the opposite opinion. The synergy between Sparksy and Yao Guang is way too strong. Way too strong. and replacing Yao Guang with anybody else sounds just kind of weird to me. Meanwhile, Evanesia, she is just using Yao Guang because she literally has no other elation support option, right? That's literally all it is. So this entire line of thinking that Yao Guang would be best in slot for Evanesia and not for the Silverwolf team with Sparksy is actually backwards with the current info we have. It should be the opposite, and Yao Guang is specifically a massive best in slot in Silverwolf's team because of her synergy with Sparksy, and then in an Evanesia team, her value isn't as important, at least with info we currently have, because we don't actually know much about Evanesia and what she may want, right? So with this being the case, a lot of people have been bringing up, you know, Uniquely said this CC said that, this Twitter TCer said that, and I'm kind of just tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So what I've been thinking as of late is going back to like the original early Ampho roots in terms of the way I made my content on this channel. For those who don't know what exactly that is, even though I go through leaks and I do give a bit of an opinion here and there, I will no longer make my opinions, you know, as extensive as I have recently, and making entire videos going over them, synergies, rotations you can do with Yao Guang, all of that, right? I will probably tone those down a lot more as compared to current, and the only place you'll see me going really in depth on my thoughts about character strength and future synergies that I believe in will likely be on my streams, because I just am tired of this. The fact that my integrity is being called into question every single time I do a prediction for what a character may be and their value as of late because of other creators or other people on social media having contradictory opinions, it's just annoying, okay? It is absolutely annoying. So with all that being said, I hope you guys can understand, but videos like I did for Yao Guang, where I really went incredibly in depth on this character's value and what she provides, I will probably never make videos like this again unless I'm really just feeling myself. And especially with the upcoming 4.2 beta, this is probably the best time I could do this because there is way too many characters in that beta, and there's no way I genuinely want to keep up with paying full attention to how strong and being perfectly accurate the characters are in that beta. It'd be a nightmare for me. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Thank you all for supporting me for so long at this point. I always appreciate anybody who stops by. If you disagree with me, if you aren't a mindless doomer, it's always nice to have you here, and peace out.